So I have opened up the two smaller rear cargo bay doors on the driver's side, and this one is going to house your hose that you will use to hook up to the tanks for flushing. The one just forward is where you're actually going to dump the tanks. So you'll take the green end, and you will, it's hard to do with one hand, so give me just 1 second. You'll feed it up through, and you'll see the little teeth on the top of this fit on, and you turn all the way tight. That's all it takes. Then you'll take this end, and you'll thread on the end cap right here, same way. And we'll put that into the fill station hole that they have in the dump station or at your site. And to dump, it's very easy. You have a very large diameter black tube over here and a very small diameter tube over here. This is for your black tank, which is just your toilet. This is for your gray tank, holding tank. Those are both holding tanks. That is just for the water that comes out of the faucets and the shower. You always want to do your black tank first by slowly pulling this lever towards you. Do not pull hard, don't yank it, slowly open it. You don't want to get it jammed or stuck. It's gravity fed, so once it's done draining, you'll hear it. There will be nothing else coming out. Slowly push this lever all the way back in. Then you will pull on your gray tank lever. Slowly, don't yank, don't pull hard. Pull that all the way out. You will hear the gravity push the fluid out of that tank. You do that 1 second because it helps rinse the hose out. Once you're done with that, push this gray valve all the way back in. You would then disconnect your hose, and you are done dumping. Maintain this end of the hose higher than the end that's dumping into the tank. Every dump station will have a hose. Pull this up, hold it up higher than that end, wash water in it to help thoroughly rinse out the hose, let it dry for a little while, put it back in this container, and then you can close all this back up and shut this door. You do not ever want to just leave this open or the gray handle while you're at your campsite if you have a sewer hookup at your site. The reason you don't want to do that is twofold. One, you will have the gases flowing back up from that sewer pipe into your RV and will smell in your RV. The second reason is, specifically for the black tank, if you leave this open all the time, it never has any fluid buildup in it. If it doesn't have any fluid buildup in it and solid matter falls down into it and it just dries, it's going to create a mountain of human feces that will never be able to get taken out. So you do not leave this open when you're sitting at your campsite. You pull it out when you need to dump, close it back up, do it once or twice a day or less frequently depending on how much you're using it. Here on the outside, driver's side again, you have your electrical hookup. This is a surge protector, large scale for an RV, and you have 25 feet of cable in here, electrical cable. I leave this hooked up intentionally. Always use the surge protector to connect. You would much rather pay for a new $75 surge protector than you would the entire wiring of the RV. What you're seeing here is the back of the refrigerator. This is the back of the furnace. You do have a cable hookup and a phone hookup. I'll be honest, I've never used them, but you do have them. That is the tailpipe right here. That is the exhaust pipe for the generator. Your generator is found directly above it, and again, it has no locks on it. Okay? That's not something you should ever mess with or have to mess with. That is serviced every 60 days, so there's nothing you need to do for that. And then we get to the front of the vehicle, okay? And again, the key that will open those two locks on each side you see is this key right here. Again, other than putting in window washer fluid by chance, you probably won't have to do much with that. But as you can see through the mesh right here, there are one battery here and two more batteries over here. The battery over here is for your engine, right, and your chassis battery. That is only wired to start the engine. And then the other batteries, the other two on this side, are specifically for the house or the coach batteries. Those are what the lights can run off of if you're not hooked up to electricity. And again, I have LED lights throughout the whole unit. I changed all those out so it draws very little amperage. But they do keep them separate, so that way you can't kill the engine battery. You can always start that engine battery even if you kill the house battery, so don't be worried about that. and there's a way to bank them inside, which we'll go over shortly. The other thing to take note of is that all 3 batteries are charging whenever the engine is running, whenever the generator is running, or whenever you are hooked up to electricity. All 3 batteries are charging. So again, it is fairly hard to kill the batteries on the RV.